Hello students, we are studying human reproduction. In the human reproduction, we are studying male reproductive system. And in male reproductive system, last time I told you about the male reproductive system consists of primary sex organs, secondary sex organs are accessory sex organs, and external genitalia. So we have to discuss first about the testis. Testis, there is a pair of testis. Testis is found outside the abdominal cavity in a sac or pouch like structure called as scrotum. Scrotum provide 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius less than our body temperature. It is necessary for spermatogenesis. Scrotum is highly contractile in nature. When in the atmosphere temperature is extremely low, it contracts and bring testis close to abdomen to provide optimum temperature which is needed for spermatogenesis. So we see its structure. Suppose this is the abdomen, and in outside the abdomen this is the scrotum, and in the scrotum it is testis is found inside the scrotum, and here it is attached by gubernaculum. By gubernaculum. And if we see the structure of the testis, externally, testis is covered with a dense fibrous membrane. Suppose this is testis. This testis is externally suppose this one is the testis, and testis is externally covered by membrane, dense fibrous membrane called as the tunica albuginea. This is tunica. So externally testis is covered with a dense fibrous membrane called as the tunica albuginea. Now we see the internal structure of the testis. If we see the internal structure of the testis, it is consists of nearly 250 compartments. Nearly 250 compartments. These compartments are called as the testicular lobule. Called as testicular lobule. Testicular consists of 250 compartments, and these compartments are also called as the testicular lobule. And each testicular lobule contains about 1 to 3 highly coiled tubules. 1 to 3 highly coiled tubules called as seminiferous tubules. Called seminiferous tubules. So, testis contains about 250 compartments, and these compartments are called as the testicular lobule, and each testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled tubules called seminiferous tubules. Called as the seminiferous tubules. If we see its structure of testis, the B structure of testis, vertical section of testis, we find it is consists of testicular lobule. These are the lobules. How much? Number is about 250 testicular lobules are there. It is called as the testicular lobule. These are called as testicular lobules. And each testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled tubules. Here, suppose this one, the one this is highly coiled tubules, and these structures are called as the seminiferous tubules. These structures are called as the seminiferous tubules. See, red in color, this is called the seminiferous tubules. Inside the seminiferous tubules, if one more structure we have to study here, that is the TS of the testis. This is BS of the testis, and the TS of the testis we are seeing here seminiferous tubules. In the seminiferous tubules, this layer is germinal epithelium. This is the germinal epithelium, and in the germinal epithelium, two types of these cells are there. Germinal epithelium. So, in the seminiferous tubules, we find germinal epithelium, inner lining, it is made up of germinal epithelium. Germinal epithelium. So here two type of these cells are there. So germinal epithelium, it is consists of two types of these cells. It is consists of two types of the cells. One is male germ cells, male germ cells are spermatogonia male germ cell or spermatogonia, and other is the Leydig cells. So one is the male germ cell or spermatogonia, properly written. And other is Sertoli cell. Sertoli cells are nurse cell. Sertoli cell or nurse cell. So male germ cell or spermatogonia undergoes into meiosis cell division to produce spermatozoa or sperm. While Sertoli cell provide nutrition to male germ cell, it provides nutrition to germ cells, and the space outside the seminiferous tubules is called as the interstitial space, and this interstitial space contains interstitial cells and small blood vessels. This is the interstitial cells. This is interstitial cell. Interstitial cells. These interstitial cell produces male sex hormones, androgen. These interstitial cell produces male sex hormone called the androgen. So you are familiar to the testosterone, which is responsible for the development of secondary sexual character. So that's about the testes. Next, we have to study about the accessory ducts. Next one is accessory ducts. Accessory ducts. Accessory ducts includes red testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. So seminiferous tubule open into vasa efferentia via red testis, and after that several vasa efferentia, not only one, several vasa efferentia opens into epididymis and bring sperm, bring it is better right kyrie, and carry sperms away from testis. So vasa efferentia opens, not only but many vasa efferentia opens into epididymis and carry sperms away from testis. Actually, what happens inside the epididymis? So epididymis, you know about the location of epididymis. It is suppose this one testis is there, and at this side epididymis is found this side. Epididymis is found this side and is attached, and this bring sperm. So epididymis is a long coiled, highly coiled tubule. Epididymis is a long, highly coiled tubule present on posterior surface of posterior side of present on posterior surface of each testis, and epididymis temporally stores temporarily stores immature spermatozoa. Temporarily stores non-motile immature spermatozoa. So this is epidermis, and now next one, vas deferens and seminal vesicle. Vas deferens and seminal vesicle, and seminal vas deferens and seminal vesicle together forms ejaculatory duct. Together forms ejaculatory duct. They form the ejaculatory duct and passes through prostate gland. In the structure you have studied, as this gland is there, and this is the seminal vas deferens is there, and they come, this is the seminal vesicles are there, and here this is the prostate. Seminal vesicle is joined here, seminal vesicle joined here, seminal vesicle joined here, and this is the prostate gland. This is the prostate gland. This is the prostate gland and join the urethra. Ejaculatory duct and passes through prostate gland and join urethra. This is the urethra. They come and join here. And urethra originates from urinary bladder. Urinary from urinary bladder and extends urinary bladder and extends via penis and opens as urethral meatus. So urethra originates from urinary bladder and extends via penis and opens as urethral meatus. So next one is that is accessory glands. Next third one the accessory gland. This was the accessory duct and next one accessory glands. Accessory glands. It consists of paired. Consists of paired seminal vesicles, seminal consists of paired seminal vesicles, paired consists of paired seminal cycle are prostate gland or prostate gland and a pair of bulbourethral or Cowper glands are Cowper glands. So it is consists of a paired seminal vesicle, a prostate gland, and a pair of bulbourethral or Cowper's gland. The secretion of these glands forms seminal plasma. The secretion of these glands form seminal plasma. The secretion of these glands for seminal plasma. Seminal plasma is this plasma is rich in this plasma is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. So this plasma is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzyme. Fructose provides the energy, and one is the prostate gland. It produces some substances and which nurses and activates the spermatozoa, while bulbourethral produces mucus which work as the lubricants during insemination. So Cowper's gland secrete mucus which secretes mucus which works as a lubricant during insemination. So Cowper's gland or bulbourethral secretes mucus which work as the lubricant during insemination. Next, one part remain, that is external genitalia. After accessory gland, next external genitalia. External genitalia. ZT. It is penis. It it is a male copulatory organ and which is highly erectile during copulation. This penis works for the insemination of spermatozoa. So thank you. That's for today only.